right? So when I first started trading, right, I would literally complicate this game like no other, right? I thought just because I wasn't obtaining consistent results, there must be some complicated thing that I'm missing out on, right? And I see traders so often complicate this process, and I get it. There's so much information, there's so much stuff going on. It's such an unstructured environment, right? But if you could learn to create structure in this environment through a simple criteria, simple steps, simple process, you will get way better results, right? And the goal of this game is to identify a process, a repeatable process that you can get results with. So today in this lesson, I'm going to break down once again how I like to trade the market and the best way to catch a trend, right? So before we go any further, guys, if I had any value, right, to your trading, to your mental game, drop a comment below, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and more importantly, join the Discord. We're building a phenomenal trading army, right? Every single day we show up, we put in the work. That's our goal each and every single day. And my goal is to provide all the resources that you need to be able to do that, right? So the day we're going to be talking about is 6/13, 2024, right? So the way I want to break this down, right, is from A to Z, right? The process. Every single day, I identify four main critical levels, right? First one's going to be end of day. This is the previous close, right? The reason why we identify end of day is if we get a gap up or a gap down, what do I need to see for a gap fill, right? It's a really easy level to identify, right? I remember when I first started trading, identifying support and resistance was kind of complicated, right? So doing it this way, identifying the previous day close, right? All you're going to do is come right up here to that ticker, 542.78, right? That's your end of day. But the day we're going to be talking about, end of day, was at 541.73, right? So there's end of day. Next, previous day low, right? So previous day low, another important level. It's the lowest price from the previous day. And why it's important is because it was the lowest price, meaning it couldn't go any lower, meaning there was buyers there, right? So we're going to want to identify that level, right, and see if that buyer shows back up. See, this game's an auction, meaning there's buyers versus sellers. So if price is selling down into a level, right, like we're selling down into previous day low right here, at some point the demand for the commodity is going to exceed the supply, and what that does is then causes price to go up, right? So this is the level we want to watch. This is the level where buyers were previously were. This is going to be a target for a short play, right? This is definitely an area of interest. Number three, previous day high, right? Much like previous day low, but reverse, right? Because the market is all about polarity, right? What goes down comes up, what goes up comes down, usually in the same amounts, right? And if not, that's where we get our market imbalances, and then that's where we put on our trades, right? So we got end of day, we got previous day low, we got previous day high, right? There's one more, and that's open print. Open print is the opening print right when that bell goes off, right? So before I go any further, what I want to do is break down how I identify opportunities on the 1 hour time frame, right? So this is what the market looked like, right? So we had this level at 537 that we broke out of earlier in the week, right? We got a massive large gap up due to CPI, right? CPI market responded very well to it. You can see we get this rally and then consolidation. So now some things I'm looking at here, right? I got my critical levels, is the 50 EMA, right? So the 50 EMA is a moving average that we use to identify the strength of trend, right? If we're above the 50, I'm going to get more bullish vibes, but if we get extended from the 50, I know usually price will come back down and retest it, right? So with that knowledge, with that understanding, I'm going to put that into my analysis and be able to go, okay, what do I need to see to play down to end of day, to play down to previous day low, which is right next to the 50, right? It could be a price magnet. Okay, so that's my 1 hour analysis, and then any acceptance above end of day, right? Like any buyers that defend this level, I'm going to be looking for longs targeting previous day high, right? So I'm basically bullish above previous day high, bearish below somewhat to target end of day, to target PDL. It's so important to approach the market with that perspective, right? You cannot be assuming anything. Meaning, I don't think buyers are going to show up and own the day. I don't think sellers are going to show up and own the day. I've been trading long enough to realize anytime I think something's going to happen, the opposite happens. And then I'm just left feeling frustrated and, maybe shameful because I wasn't correct. So I've learned to approach the market in a non-biased fashion. completely neutral. I don't care who controls the day. I don't need to understand who's controlling the day. All what I need to do is identify who's controlling the day while it's happening. And we do that through critical levels, structure, and moving averages. Right? So that's my 1 hour analysis. Now watch here. Price rips right in the previous day high in the morning. Right? So this is what we call an area of supply. Right? And we call it supply because there was a larger amount of supply than there was demand up here. Otherwise, price would have continued to go up. Very simple. Right? And then down here, this is going to be what we call demand. This is demand because if and when price comes down here, there's an exceeding amount of demand that outweighs the supply, causing price to move up. Very simple, right? So using the critical levels, watching price rip up here into previous day high, right? So now you can see we get that little sell-off here at open print, right? Now let me just do this so that we can see it a little bit better. We get that very large candle. Right, so that large candle comes down, rips into the 50. Now, this is where my moving averages do their magic, right? Because how many times have you been trading a level and you don't know if it's going to go up, you don't know if it's going to go down. So you guess, and then when you guess, you get smoked. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you get smoked. But the worst part about it is it's not repeatable. See, using these moving averages in this way that I'm about to show you, it's very repeatable. And repeatable ties with the process. We need a process that gives us consistent results that's repeatable, right? So after identifying the critical level, right, we got open print. If buyers defend the open, I'm looking for longs targeting PDH. If sellers defend the open, I'm looking for shorts targeting end of day and previous day low, okay? Bullish scenario, bearish scenario. How do we know if it's going to be bullish or bearish? The 50 EMA, right? This is where I'm going to watch price and how it reacts to that 50. We drop below open print. So now after I see this red candle, I'm not ready for longs until we get back above open print, right? I don't want to fight the trend. I always trade with trend. I don't care the circumstance. I'm going to trade with trend. I found you have a way better chance of consistency if you just trade with the trend. Don't try to anticipate the breakout, right? Don't try to guess, go, oh, that's the bottom. No, stop doing that. Trade with the trend. I'm telling you, try it. It changed my life. So look at how price rips down into the 50 EMA. Next candle, we come up, we consolidate. I'm not below that 50 just yet, so I'm not ready for shorts. Boom, price consolidates, comes down, drops below our cloud, drops below the 50, right? So right here on this candle, even though it's close, we close below that 50 EMA, right? So this right here is the beginning of my criteria to enter short. Once I see this, I don't just enter short, but this will set an alarm. And I'll go, okay, listen, buyers are not strong right now. If they were strong, this wouldn't have happened. So bring it back to that 50-50 perspective where the market's either going to go up to PDH or it's going to go down to PDL. What do I need to see to put on a trade? Boom. Closing below the 50. Alarm goes off. All right, now I'm ready. I'm looking for shorts at this point. Where can I get in the market short with low risk? Right? Price drops down below the 50, comes up, and retest my EMA cloud. Guys, anybody that wants this indicator, leave a comment below. I will post it there. This way you guys got it, and you can use this. It's very beneficial when used properly, right? So we fall below the 50. We come up, we retest the cloud. At that point, I'm in the trade. I'm in the trade with a stop above this candle, right? This is very important because until we get above this candle, I'm bearish. Technically, I'm bearish until open print, but depending on when I actually got in this trade, I may not want to accommodate all that risk, right? In this case, I got in this trade right around 542, 53, right? So I didn't want to accommodate more than a 50-cent risk, right? 50-cent stop loss, right? I was trading SPX, so that's around a $5 stop on SPX for anybody that's interested. That's where I usually keep my stop. So at this point, I take the market short, and now we're in the trade. So now another thing I love about moving averages, especially the 9D EMA, the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA, is these are the indicators that guide me to stay in my trade. See, I coach a lot of traders. I used to battle with it myself. Holding on to winning trades is one of the most hardest things to do after not being consistently profitable. So in your beginning years as a trader, you may do a little good, but then you start to get smoked. You get smoked, you get smoked, and it comes to the point where once you're up 10, 20, maybe 30%, you just take the trade. See, learning, once again, to implement iteration to your process, meaning I'm going to use these moving averages so that I'll stay in the trade until one of these breaks or my target hits. And that's what that EMA cloud does for me, right? I'm able to take the market short, stay in my trade until target. Now notice here, price rips right in the end of day, right? It's wild how it happens. And it's also wild how we get buying there, right? So once price rips in the end of day, this is where I trim my position, right? I've just gotten a beautiful little imbalance here from 552.58 all the way down to 541.73, right? So about an 80-cent move, locked it in, right? Boom, check, on to the next. But I'm not going to get rid of the rest of my position until certain criteria is met. So watch here. Price rips into end of day, and then we trim, and then price rips up into our EMA cloud. Once again, that's the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA, right? So technically, I'm going to remain bearish until this cloud breaks, and the 50, right? So this is a good spot to add to your position, right? So as price comes down to end of day, you take profit, right? Price rips then back up into your cloud. That's my criteria for short play, right? So this is a beautiful spot to add to your position. Price rips into the cloud. Notice buyers cannot beat that cloud. Price rips all the way down, right, the previous day low, right? So what's really cool about using critical levels, about using moving averages in this fashion is it's repeatable. You're able to follow this process each and every single day. This is something I teach in Trader Bootcamp, right? This is something I show all my traders on the Discord. Learning to identify a systematic process that works for you is critical to obtaining consistent results. Until you have a consistent approach, you're never going to get consistent results, right? So guys, I hope you love this lesson. Make sure you hit a like, subscribe, drop a comment below. I love the feedback, right? And guys, if you want to get involved in the team, hit the links below. We'll see you there.